In this video, I play, record and edit all gameplay footage on the new Alienware m15 R4 gaming laptop. Featuring a Core i7 processor and 3070 RTX graphics card, this intro was made in high graphics settings at 200 FPS. Hope you guys enjoy. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. This video is sponsored by Alienware. Now, Alienware have kindly sent me over a M15 R4 laptop, and they gave me kind of free reign to do with it what I wanted. So I thought we would try and play War Thunder on it, record on the laptop, as well as edit all of the gameplay footage for this video. Now, the idea being that most people who watch this channel obviously play War Thunder or are interested in playing War Thunder. And interestingly enough, I put a poll out today. It's now at 10,000 votes on YouTube. And I asked people if they played on a laptop, a PC or a console. And 30% of you actually play on a laptop. And honestly, that statistic really surprised me. I thought it would be a lot less, but I really wasn't sure what to expect. Of course, the laptop I was sent from Alienware is an M15 R4 gaming laptop, and as I've described before, it is a very high-end spec. It's got an Intel Core i7 processor and an RTX 3070 GPU, and with this GPU specifically, you would expect it to be quite a big laptop. But in actual fact, it's Alienware's most thin and powerful 15-inch gaming laptop ever. Not only is the laptop itself thin, but the power supply is too. That even includes the socket for your power. So if you're at school, a student, or you work away from home, this is kind of ideal for just putting in a bag and taking it along with you. The screen on my particular model is the 15-inch FHD 1080p. My favorite feature of it is that it's 300 Hz. Actually makes my desktop monitor kind of feel a little bit laggy and slouchy. I'm honestly kind of getting used to it, and I probably need a higher refresh rate monitor now. I'm not even kidding, I'm serious, it's so smooth. And let's just talk about the look of the laptop. It looks great. It's got an innovative hinge forward design that brings the thermal shelf to the rear, that enables a variety of improved benefits such as a thinner overall design while increasing performance, better ventilation, higher quality sound, external ports organization. It has 3 USBs, so I was able just to plug in everything that I would plug into my desktop so that I could get all my software and hardware to run together in harmony. It even has a Thunderbolt Type-C port at the back so that I could transfer data really quickly. Now, normally I would run an Ethernet cable between my computer and the router, but Alienware has Killer Wireless, which provides a wired and wireless network setup that prioritizes internet traffic and data stream to the applications most important to you. So I decided to see what it would be like just running wireless only. And using wireless, I ran into no issues at all playing War Thunder. This model as well comes with a 512GB solid state drive, which allows your games to load faster, makes virtually no noise, and have less failures because they've got no moving parts. And of course, when it comes to big files such as the video recordings, the data transfer is much faster from one device to another. So how is the War Thunder experience on the M15 R4? Well, very good. Let's move on to some gameplay footage and we can discuss the performance there. So I've chosen the Calliope for one reason and one reason only. Lots and lots of particles. Particles are really kind of demanding, especially in War Thunder right now. They've upped the ante on the graphics engine, so it can lag out people with not so good hardware, and I'm pretty sure some of you have experienced that already. And if you keep your eye on the bottom left hand side of the screen, you'll see the FPS that's running right now. Of course, I am playing and recording all on the same laptop, and the recordings I'm using a very high bitrate. It's 68,000 kilobits a second, which is very, very demanding even for my main rig, which is a 5950X and a 3900. Why do I run such a high bitrate? Well, just to get the best video quality possible. Whenever you're driving through areas that are very busy, the encoder can kind of make things look a little bit muddy and not look so great. So it's good to get a nice crisp image, upload to YouTube in 4K. I really wanted to do everything that I would do on my main rig just on this laptop, just to see how I could handle it. And of course, it's handling it very, very well. One thing I would like to talk about is the actual size of the screen itself. It is quite small, but with all the details, the sharp resolution that's on it, it is a lot easier to spot things than you think it would be, especially for games like War Thunder that we're playing right now. A lot of it is due to pixel spotting whenever you're seeing enemies, trying to identify the enemy you're seeing. I did struggle at times to pick out targets, but mainly those were aircraft, and I would honestly be struggling to see them anyway. And like I've already mentioned, the very, very high refresh rate on the monitor just makes everything look buttery smooth. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, you don't really need a 300 Hz monitor if you're only running 160 to 200 FPS, but that couldn't be further from the truth. It really is a massive assistance. And not only that, it's very visually appealing as well. It's like butter or KY jelly on my eyeballs. It just feels so good. Now you'll notice here with a lot of the sparks and dust and things that are getting kicked up, the FPS did drop, but that's honestly to be expected. But the most important thing is it didn't freeze, it didn't stutter, it still kept up and was still nice and smooth gameplay experience. While on the subject of freezes and stuttering, another important thing for competitive gamers who may be considering getting something like a laptop for a game like this, or even something more intense like a first-person shooter, the input lag on this is non-existent. For those of you who are kind of unaware of what input lag is, it's a little bit when you push a key on your keyboard and it takes a little while for the game to actually pick that movement up. It could be a CPU bottleneck, it could be a GPU bottleneck. It makes a huge difference. And as well, with mouse movements, there's no delay there either. So for things like precision aiming, or whether you're flying an aircraft and trying to get that trick shot on an aircraft that's maybe a little bit further away than you would normally take a shot, everything feels as responsive as you would expect it to be. Most people would consider an in-game item such as a tank or a plane that you buy in War Thunder to be pay to win, but honestly, the real pay to win for any game is your hardware. If you can run a higher FPS, if you have less input delay, if your internet connection is better, that is really a huge advantage over your opponents whenever you're playing. And it's one of the reasons why I'm so good at the game. I have nice stuff, and nice stuff helps you win matches and fights like this. The faster you can identify what your enemy is and how to deal with it, the better the experience is going to be for you. And that isn't limited to just visual things, it's down to audio as well. I heard this enemy as well over to my right very clearly. I'm using my own headphones that are plugged into one of the 3 USBs, and the audio is honestly very clear. I didn't notice any difference between this particular laptop and my own desktop. Everything just felt kind of natural and easy to use. The hardest thing, if you could call it that, with playing on a laptop is just that the keyboard was quite alien. Well, no pun intended. I'm also using a wireless mouse that I don't normally use either, which is also something that's kind of a factor into how I was playing. And those two things were honestly the only hard thing about playing on the laptop, really. To answer the question, could you play War Thunder daily on this laptop? Absolutely. To not only play, but record at as high a bitrate that I'm doing, and now I'm editing through this footage like I did it on my main desktop PC, is pretty crazy. Now, I could also attach a second monitor to this. It does have a HDMI port on the back, but I thought I would try and do it just using the single monitor, as if I was maybe in a hotel or staying with a family member. And even though I don't have the comfort of having 2 extra monitors over my main one, it really is just a little bit more extra time. But as I'm proving right now, it's 100% doable. Now, this was like my 4th or 5th game, I think, and at this point the laptop was at the hottest that it ever got. Just there was a lot of particles going on in this match, especially at this moment that's about to happen right here. It wasn't unbearably hot, but you could definitely feel the temperature. And the fans definitely did their job. The game didn't lag out or hitch at any single point in time throughout the duration of this match or recording anything, especially in the intro where we had the 4 Calliopes firing rockets. I expected something to go wrong. I was really trying to stress test everything. The buildings collapsing and stuff like that can actually do. Honestly, it can kick people from games whenever you get that many rockets flying around, and nothing like that happened to me. Going into this project and stress tested it, I had no idea what to expect, but obviously I was pleasantly surprised and it didn't seem to affect my ability to play. So now we've established that you can game and record at the same time and edit, render. I could upload as well. What other things can we do with a very powerful gaming laptop? Just bought a lot of stuff so we can go mobile. One thing that really boggles my mind now about laptops like the Alienware is that you can have a laptop that's more powerful than most people's gaming PCs, desktops, and I could take it to the park and play War Thunder on it on a 5G connection tethered to my phone. You could put it in a bag and live stream going around a tank museum or an aircraft museum, doing any sort of traveling. If you're a student still at school, you can do your schoolwork on it. You can then record some videos for YouTube and make a little bit extra income. There's just so much you can do with so much power in such a small package. Now, if you'd like to know more about the Alienware M15R4, I will put links in the description below and in the pinned comment. And of course, I would very much like to thank Alienware for sponsoring this video. And to all of you here, thank you very much for watching. Much love and bye-bye.